Hi, and welcome to English Listening Room. Listen, notice, and speak with us. Subscribe and join the room. Let's begin.
My manager said, let us deliver everything by Friday. I knew Friday was impossible. I smiled and said, sounds good. It did not sound good. It sounded like my weekend disappearing.
You agreed with your mouth while the rest of you filed a complaint.
I am Ethan.
And I am Nora. This is the English Listening Room, and today we are practicing disagreement that is clear enough to help, but calm enough to hear. By the end, you will be able to signal a different view, explain one concern, and offer an alternative without turning the meeting into a battle.
I would also like my weekend back.
We will negotiate for it.
I knew several English phrases for disagreement. The problem was that each one felt too strong in that moment.
Or too weak. Learners often choose between no, that is wrong, and maybe, perhaps, I am not sure. There is a useful middle.
Give me the first line before another deadline appears.
Say, I see it differently. Short, calm, complete.
That sounds almost too direct. What if the other person is senior?
Direct does not mean rude. Your voice and next sentence matter. You can say, I see it differently. I think Friday creates a quality risk.
Could I say, I am not sure I agree?
Yes, that is softer and useful when you are still thinking. But if you already know your view, I see it differently, is cleaner. Do not pretend uncertainty just to appear polite.
I do that. I say, I am not sure when I am actually very sure.
Many people do. It protects the room for 5 seconds, but it can hide information the team needs.
What about I have a different perspective?
That works in formal settings. Perspective means the way you see a situation. In a quick meeting, I see it differently sounds more natural and less prepared.
So with a close teammate, I see it differently. In a formal review, I have a different perspective on the timeline.
Exactly. Both lines signal that another view is coming. That signal matters because listeners do not feel surprised halfway through your explanation.
Tiny pocket. I see it differently is calm and direct. I am not sure I agree is softer when your view is still forming. I have a different perspective fits a formal room.
Choose one. You do not need all three in the same meeting.
My next sentence is usually, I just feel Friday may be difficult.
What makes it difficult?
Yes, testing takes 2 full days. If the design arrives Thursday, we cannot test properly before Friday.
Good. Say that. My concern is that testing needs 2 full days. If design arrives Thursday, Friday leaves no review time.
That feels stronger because the concern has a shape.
Exactly. A concern is a specific risk or problem you want people to consider. It is not simply a negative mood.
My concern is that moving the call to 6 will exclude the team in Singapore.
Clear and useful. You named the action and the consequence. Now people can discuss the real trade-off.
Do I need a lot of evidence after that?
Start with one fact. More facts can follow if someone asks. A disagreement becomes hard to hear when the explanation turns into a 10-minute defense.
So I should not bring a historical documentary about every missed deadline.
Keep the documentary in your private collection. In the room, name the current risk.
Does my concern is work outside work?
It can, but it sounds formal with friends. You might say, what worries me is, for example, what worries me is that we will miss the last train.
Both lines move from I hate this plan to one result we can discuss.
Yes, useful disagreement is not smaller. It is more specific.
We have used facts and consequences. What if the disagreement is about taste? Imagine we are choosing a design, and I simply prefer the quieter version.
Then label it honestly as a preference. Say, my preference is the quieter version because the main message is easier to notice. You still give a reason, but you do not present taste as a universal fact.
So not, the bright version is obviously bad.
Correct. Obviously often hides the fact that something is not obvious at all. Try, I find the bright version distracting. What do the rest of you notice first?
That question allows other people to see something different without proving me foolish.
Exactly. In subjective decisions, useful disagreement compares effects. Which version feels clearer, warmer, more energetic, or easier to read? Those are discussable qualities.
What if I agree with the goal but not the method?
Say that directly. I agree that we need more energy. I am not convinced brighter colors are the best way to create it. Then offer another method.
What if we kept the colors and used a stronger headline instead?
Good. Partial agreement lowers unnecessary tension because it shows exactly where your view changes.
That seems more honest than beginning every objection with "I totally agree" when I do not.
Yes, do not use agreement as decoration. If you genuinely share one goal or observation, name it. If you do not, begin with respect. I understand the direction and I see it differently.
Sometimes the room moves on before I can organize the sentence. How do I reopen the point?
Try, before we move on, could I come back to the timeline? It tells people what you are doing and names the topic, so the interruption feels purposeful.
Before we move on, could I come back to the timeline? My concern is that testing needs 2 full days.
Exactly. Another option is I want to make sure we do not lose one point. That works when the group has heard you but has not answered the concern.
I often assume silence means the group rejected my point.
Silence can mean many things. People are thinking, the meeting is rushed, or nobody knows who should answer. Ask for the response you need. How are we accounting for the testing time in this plan?
That is stronger than repeating "I am worried" because it asks the decision to include the concern.
Right. Repetition becomes productive when the second version is more specific.
Meetings are fast. Email gives me time, but I can accidentally sound colder. How would the same move look in writing?
Keep it short. I see one risk with the Friday plan. Testing would be limited to a few hours. Could we use Friday for a preview and Tuesday for the tested release?
No long greeting about how wonderful the idea is?
A genuine thank you is fine. A paragraph of praise before one concern can make the concern feel hidden. Readers should not have to search for your actual point.
So, appreciation if it is real, the concern in the first few lines, then the alternative.
Yes. And end with a question if a decision is still open. Would that protect the client date while giving us enough review time?
The question invites response, but it does not erase my recommendation.
Exactly. Polite writing can still have a clear center.
I have signaled the difference and named the risk. Now, how do I avoid ending with a wall?
Open a door. Could we look at another option? Then offer something real. What if we delivered the core pages Friday and the rest Tuesday?
I see it differently. My concern is that we need 2 days for testing. Could we deliver the core pages Friday and the rest Tuesday?
That is excellent. You are not only rejecting the first plan, you are protecting its main goal while changing the route.
What if I do not have an alternative yet?
Do not invent one. Ask, could we look at another option? Or can we take 5 minutes to compare the risks? A good objection can create a search, not supply the final answer.
That helps. I sometimes stay silent because I think disagreement requires a perfect solution.
It does not. If you can see a serious problem, naming it is already useful. The solution can belong to the group.
And where does "I can support that if" fit?
Use it when the plan could work under one condition. I can support Friday if we reduce the first release to 3 pages. It turns a flat no into a clear trade-off.
I can join dinner at 7 if we choose somewhere near the station.
Exactly. A condition is not a threat. It tells people what would make agreement possible.
The bad version is agreeing first and revealing the condition later.
Yes, hidden conditions become resentment. Spoken conditions become information. Let us raise the pressure. Your manager says, "We promised Friday. We cannot change it." What do you say?
I understand the promise. My concern is that releasing without full testing could create a bigger delay next week.
Good. Now add a door.
What if we kept Friday for the client preview, then released the tested version Tuesday?
Strong. You recognized the promise instead of ignoring it. Then you connected your concern to the same business goal, avoiding delay.
Suppose she says, no, everything Friday. I cannot keep repeating my speech forever.
Then close clearly. Understood. I want to note that full testing will not be possible on that timeline. Which checks should we prioritize?
That is calm, but it does not hide the consequence.
Exactly. Respectful disagreement does not guarantee that you win. It ensures the decision is made with the relevant information visible.
Could I want to note sound like I am protecting myself?
Sometimes it is partly that, and that is not automatically wrong. Keep your tone factual, not threatening. You are recording a constraint so everyone can plan responsibly.
Signal, concern, alternative, condition, and then a clear record if the decision stays the same.
Yes, but remember, in one real conversation, you may only need two of those. This is a toolkit, not a speech. Let us replay 4 lines we used slowly.
I see it differently. A clear signal that your view is not the same.
I see it differently.
My concern is use it before one specific risk or consequence.
My concern is that we will not have enough review time.
Could we look at another option? This opens a shared search instead of ending the conversation.
Could we look at another option?
I can support that if. Use it when one clear condition would make the plan workable.
I can support that if we reduce the first release. Today, disagreement became a useful sequence. Signal the difference, name one consequence, and open a realistic door.
In my next meeting, I will replace sounds good with one honest sentence before my weekend disappears.
Practice your sentence aloud, then share it in the comments if you want feedback. This is Nora,
And this is Ethan.
and you have been listening to Daily Talk from the English Listening Room.
Bye!
Thanks for learning with us. For more real English you can use, subscribe, and join the room. See you next time.